Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial section we are going to create our own data layout control. It will be a little bit long time because data layout control is very detailed, and I want to create first I want to create not the custom one. I just want to show you toolbar. I will add a data layout control, what we have to do, what we can do, and what we are going to do. And later I will create our custom data layout control. First, let's select here data layout control. So this is our data layout control. Because in big projects, I think if they use the DevExpress, majority of them they use data layout control. Because for example, here we created some custom components. If, for example, I take text and let's say, for example, data edit and also calc edit. So these things, it will be really for us hard to make it align in exact same size and location and height, width, everything. It will be really complicated. So what they do, they create one data layout control. For example, let's say 3 columns and 10 rows. If it is necessary, they add it more. Mostly it is not necessary, they just delete it, So they create their own data layout control like this. So let's first how we are going to do it. We'll create 3 columns and 10 rows. But when you add data layout control, you have to first convert to the table layout. You have to make sure you select this one and right click table layout control. The moment you do it, it gives you 2 columns and 2 rows. So as a default, it gives you this one. But of course, we are going to delete both of them. First, I go to the edit columns. I delete both of them. I say OK. And then right click edit columns. I delete both of them. I say OK. Now what we are going to do, let's make it bigger a little bit. What we are going to do, we'll add first 3 columns and then 10 rows. Let's start adding. Right click edit columns. I will say 1, 2, 3. So the first column, I will just give a size as a 210, and let's do it. Width I gave 210, and then size type I choose absolute because it will be only 210. It's fixed. Let's go to the second one. Second one, I am going to choose percent, and I put 100. I will show you what is percent. Percent, for example, when we resize, only percents it will be changed. Others, absolute, it will not be changed because it is fixed one. Percent according to what we resize. So the third one, I say absolute, and I gave 110, and I say OK. As you see that we have 3 columns, and let's first add the rows as well, and we will see what we have done it. Let's right click and edit rows, and let's first look at this one. Sorry, let's say percent 100. Let's add rows, then we'll see what we have done. I eat 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. And all of them I put 24 as a height. The reason our components, even in Visual Studio, Windows Form component or DevExpress, their height usually is 24. So I I just put 24 and all of them I make it absolute. Absolute is like a fixed. It cannot be changed. What we gave. And let's do for this one. This one. And this one, say absolute. And the last one, I will make it percentage because according what I resize, it will change the height. So I put 100%. Let's say okay. Now we have created. As you see that. This is, the last one is percent, and in the middle column is percent. Let's see how it is functioning. For example, now if I resize, I make it smaller, as you see that, the percentage also is changed. The fixed one, the absolute one, it doesn't change at all. You see? So we say the last one is also, we made it percentage. As you see that, it's only this one is changed. So maybe the last one I will put like as for descriptions or addresses, that's why. And here we'll add like a toggle switch as on and off. And here we'll just add our like components like text edit and data edit and this kind of etc. So we are going to create this one. But one more thing I want to do it, I will go all properties. And here we have options focus. Here we have enable auto tab order. I set it false. The reason I do this, for example, if I add my components, I just want like a manually give a tab order. If you don't, you cannot change it. So that's why I set it false. Because as default, it is true. So now we have done, and let's go for coding. And one more thing I just want to show you. Let's first go to the coding. Let's right click on our components, add and class. And I will name it my data layout control. Then add. I set it, this is public. And I add attribute as a toolbox item, set it true. Usually, for example, if you want to inherit from data layout control, sorry, I think where is my, sorry, I just have to change this one, data. Usually, for example, if we want to inherit from data layout control, because I already moved of our forum, you will not have C1. If you not have C, the solution is like this. You will just come here, write data layout control, move over here, and then library will edit our projects, and then you can delete, and then you can inherit from it. This is like this. First thing, we said that we are going to disable a tab order, and this is only we can make it from constructor, and I will say options focused, and here we have enable auto tab order, and then I will set it false because we want to do our own tab order. This is first. Now secondly, we said that on our project we have like 3 columns and 10 rows. In order to add columns and rows, we have to overwrite layout, 1 minute, where was it? I have to overwrite create layout control implementor core. With this one, when we just move over our project, and then it will go to this class, And then from this class, it will look for column and rows. So then it will create automatically. So let's overwrite this one. And here I will say, not this one. Let's comment this one. I will say return. And I will say new. As you see that it gives me layout control implementor. And here it asks for owner. I will say owner is our control. I will say this. And now let's remove this one. Now if I leave like this, it will use default of our data layout control. So I want to create my own class. So here I will write my layout control implementor. And here I right click here because we will make modification, that's why. If you leave like this, it will be the same when you move over your form. So I just simply write as my, because I will create another class. Here we have a generated class, my layout control implementor. I click here. I don't want to make a nested inside this one. So as you see, it created already. I don't do anything here. I just come here. Here we said what we need, two things, columns and rows. And beside this one, let's first overwrite for column and rows. Here we have create layout group, this one. This is for column and rows, will be declared in here. And the second one, overwrite create layout item. This is, it will be modification about our items, because when we move our for example text edit over our data layout control, we can make like a change the fore color or back color or etc. So I overwrite this one. Here I don't return. When you return, it will do nothing as usually. I will say var, and I will name it as an item. And here we say item, then appearance item caption. And then I will say for color, I will change it to maroon. And then I will say return item. So here what we did, whenever we move any, for example, any of our component over our data layout control, I shouldn't delete what I did. Sorry, let me just in fast way convert this one. For example, if I move like a text edit, as you see that we have layout control item. This item means this one. So I just changed the fore color of this one as a maroon. You can change it if you come here, for example, from appearance item caption is the same, you see. If, for example, if I write maroon, now it's changed. I will just do like this. So that's why. This is first. And now let's come here. We will say var group. And then let's, in order to disappear this error, I will say return group. Because usually if we leave like this, we say return, it will be it will do nothing as like a default options, but we just want to modify, we want to change, so that's why I name it as a group, and we assign this one. Now what I'm going to do it first, when we create this one, we say convert to the table. First, I will do that one. I will say group dot layout mode, and here I will say table. Now I convert it to table. And secondly, when we just like add any data layout control, first it will give two, for example, 2 columns and 2 rows. So for the columns, I will not delete from the codes. I will just remodify it. And as for the rows, I will delete it. I will just want to show you. As a default, it does give us like a two columns. So how we are going to reach them? We will say what was it? It was option layout group, and then we go to the column definitions. I said is already added 2 column, so I just choose the first one. I write 0, and then as you see that we can make like a size type. The first one we say it will be absolute, yes. And now go and write the same things, column definitions, and write 0. And now I will add width, and we say it was 210. Now let's go to for the second column. I say option layout, and I will write one size type. This time we say we'll make a percentage as we did. And then width will give 100, column definition, width 100. This is like this. So now we have to add the third column by ourselves, because this is already added, so that's why we just reach and we assign, we didn't change it. So now if we want to add it, we say group, options tab, layout group, and column definition. This time I will say add, because I am adding a new one. As we do like this, for example, when we say edit and when we say add, it is the same things what we do here. And here we have a, I will say new column definition. And now what I'm going to do here, I will first choose the size type. We say it will be absolute. And the second one, width, it will be 110, as we did it. This is we done. And now here, for example, we have a rows, 2 rows. I want to remove these rows. I will just add 10 rows within a for loop. For example, I remove like this. So how we are going to remove here? We say group, options, table layout group, and then this time a row definitions, and then we have a clear method. Now it will be clear, both 2 of them. And now I come here, I just add my for loop. It will start from 1 and until 10. Now here I'm going to add a 10 rows. How I'm going to do it? It's really simple. I will write group, then options, table layout group, and then this time row definitions, and then add as. So now I will say new row definition. And now, sorry. So first we have to choose the size type. Size types, I choose the absolute. And the second one, height, we say we'll give 24, and that's it. But the thing is that we say the last one will make it percentage and give the height like 100. So how we are going to do that? I will do like this. I will say if I plus 1 not equal than 10, then continue. I will explain now. Here what I am going to say, what I say, as long as I is not 9, because when it is 9 and after the 9 it will add the last one. If we don't do anything, it will just add this one. But when it is like not equal 10, when our I is not equal 9, we'll continue. When it is 9, what we are going to do? We'll say group, options layout, table layout group, and then row definitions, and then add, and then new rows. Here, what we say size type, this time we will make it %, and then height, we say 100. So if even I do like this, for example, if this is 9, yeah, 9 plus 1, it will be 10, not equal 10, it will come here, yeah. It will add this one, but our I is still 9, and it will go for the 10, again it will add another one. So after this one, I will say break. I will just break my loop. Now we are almost done with the coding. Let's build it. Control Shift and B. And let's go and delete this one. And let's now go to the my data layout control. Let's over here. As you see that we have we have 10. We can check it. We have 10. As you see, 10 rows and 3 columns. This is the absolute and percentage. And we say that, for example, when we resize, you see, only % is changing. And here's also. So now let's put some components or what we created. For example, I choose this one, I move over here, and then we can make it like a little bit resized, not 110, maybe 120, and then what we can do here, for example, private quotes and text edit and date, calc, and even in the end we can add like here memo edit and maybe button edit, another button edit, spin, text edit. This is something like this. As you see that the color also is changed. For example, I can go and change this one. I see private quote. Here I can say name, surname is like this. Let's run it. As you see that it looks cool. We can do more modification, but this is like this. Anyway guys, I hope you like it. It's a little bit complicated, Please, if you like my channel, please subscribe. See you in next video.